What's amazing about hurricanes, though, is if you get used to creating hurricanes or being in hurricanes, especially if you're the hurricane creator. And by the way, a lot of people don't even know that they are. It's just what's normal. Everybody just deals with, that's just the way mom is. Don't get mom mad. Don't get dad mad. But they're in the center of the hurricane and they are like, seems calm to me. And yet the debris of our lives is just crushing the people around us. At any moment, we can call upon Jesus Christ of the order of Melchizedek, and he will come, and we must say, I have done this. I got in control. I set up a God that was not you. Spiraling in fear is all these emotions, but the sins that it represents primarily is God playing and God making. You know, in the scriptures, it talks about idolatry as the thing that God is always angry at with the Israelites. I read the entire Old Testament with my kids twice through for their biblical history class. And it was amazing to me because we'd get to this certain section or sections along the way. And I would say, and then the children of Israel, and my kids would go, no, not again, did evil in the sight of the Lord. Idolatry. And you know what happens then? God brings a bad leader and overseer. So that for however many years, it'll say 15 years or 70 years, they were led by this leader until they could take the oppression no more. And they cried out to the Lord and they confessed their idolatry, and the Lord gave them reprieve. He heard their cry. That's what it says. He heard their cry and saw their affliction, and he gave them a good leader. And you know what they do then? They don't thank God. They now set up that wonderful leader as their new idol. And God says, why are you worshiping the creation? I gave you that leader. And so the Lord watches them doing evil in the sight of the Lord. It wasn't just golden statues. If you are one of those people that's saying, I'm not an idolater, that's like an old-fashioned thing. Yes, we are every day. We play God in our control. We make gods by demanding other people to give us our identity, to applaud us, and that's how we know our worth, to fix our problems. God playing and God making. And in doing this, we begin to despair. We become separated within. And when we become separated within, it harms everyone around us. When we were little, my mom had those gas permeable contact lenses. They're not the disposable kind, they're the opposite. They're like $200 a piece, which was a lot then. And so if she lost one of her contacts, she would panic. And everybody, we knew our roles as kids, man, to the ground. Everybody needed to help mom find that contact because mom's pretty blind. And a mom who can't see clearly is bad, not just for mom, it's bad for the kids too. Well, that's what happens when we have idols before our eyes. Parents become blind, and it's bad for the kids because it just flows downhill. I wrote a whole blog called Dung, Gravity, and Power Failure, and it's about this very thing. Eventually, the most vulnerable are most crushed. So we needed to help find my mom's contact lenses. And this is true of sin. When we can't see clearly, it is beneficial to us to say, I lost my ability to see clearly. I've learned to do this in my household. I will say to my husband, I've lost my peace. I've become addicted to internal peace. And I was taught that I don't have to be afraid of finding my sin. I'm more afraid of losing my peace. And so I've learned to ask God, will you help me figure out what happened? And he'll walk me back. It's like, where were you when you last could see clearly with your contact? Where did you last have your shoes before you lost them? When did you lose your peace? Walk it back. And well, it was when I got that phone call. Well, that phone call was about a struggle that your siblings are having. Yeah, I just started thinking what I could do to fix it. I started playing God, something that simple, instead of praying and submitting it to the Lord.